sold a Pegasus that he...
Donc ça on l'a déjà vu, vous avez qu'à voir le 1 si vous voulez savoir ce qu'il a dit. En gros, Lapino est en danger. Et j'ai oublié de noter aventure 4. Bon, tant pis, hein. Désolé à ceux qui ont bien cherché, qui sont enfin contents d'avoir réussi à le trouver, parce que peut-être que plus tard, dans quelques années, j'aurai beaucoup plus d'abonnés, j'en sais rien. Plus d'abonnés ou quelqu'un voudra juste voir tous les stories qui passent dans Destinies, et voilà.
Wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
Du coup, il me manque une épée. Ça que j'aimerais bien améliorer aussi, mais bon. Juste 3 de minerais pour me la acheter. Non mais je demandais pas mieux.
It was time to make a new sword.
Ah, il faut maintenir. Puis là aussi, il fallait maintenir, peut-être. J'appuyais qu'une seule fois aussi. Attends, mais alors moi je suis fort. Oh, c'est cool. J'aime bien cette épée, surtout qu'on la voit derrière. Tu vois, ça, elle est un petit peu grosse. Là, ça... bof. Je suis pas fan. Encore là, ça donne assez bien. C'est comme ça que c'est excusez-moi, il faut que je me remette un peu dans le bain. Je suis allée manger quand même. Du coup, je suis plus à fond là-dedans non plus. Je pense que ça peut être encore pas mal stylé à voir ces combats. Mais juste à voir. À faire, vraiment c'est fun à jouer ce jeu.
The Ravens had taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's secret rituals. Renato hoped the people were just hiding.
Non, ça donne pas de la vie, hein, ça en donne plus. Par contre, ça donne de l'énergie. Avec l'énergie, je peux me redonner de la vie.
That is a very cool sword, thought Renato. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore. Renato had tried everything. Zenobia had loved him to death. The Sky Ripper had destroyed everything. The Iblistone had corrupted everyone who held it. He'd never put much faith in Lapino. But Lapino was all he had left. What was behind that door? Renato's nose told him there was treasure there. They must have forgotten it in a hurry. Surely they wouldn't mind if he helped himself to it. After all, he wouldn't even know.
Installer le téléphone au cas où on m'appelle, je pourrais répondre plus facilement, plus simplement. C'est bien ce que je pensais, on m'appelait. Alors. Ah, super.
Hoped his hook didn't break.
Pourquoi casse? Oh non, il me sert énormément. Et yes, résistance élémentaire. J'ai vu la gemme par terre. Et 2 d'essence devant aussi. Franchement, je me demande qu'est-ce que ça va nous donner quand on aura toutes les armes améliorées au max. Par contre, là, je sais même pas par où il faut aller. Enfin, même pas. Je ne sais. On pouvait aller là la dernière fois. Non, là, on passe encore par un nouvel endroit. Ah, cool. On découvre de nouveaux endroits. C'est bien, c'est bien. C'est joli cet endroit. Des gens sont déjà passés par là. Avec le matériel, parce que plusieurs d'ailleurs. Ou alors tu fais plein d'allers-retours et t'arrives à remonter. Ouais, alors non, on va laisser tomber tout ça.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to? These were really very well made, weren't they?
Ah voilà, une one shot plus. Ça dépend lesquels.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite.
We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there.
Non merci.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and
Oh,
his only daughter? That would be worth it. And it would be nice to see her. He always had a soft spot for
Voilà,
her.
on a déjà eu la vérité
And
là-dessus.
he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Mais je pense qu'il faut aller là.
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor.
Voilà.
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Would he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty. Hey! Hey! I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
Bah oui. Alors son humour, il est mais tellement drôle. C'est normal que ce soit bien grave. c'est toujours en train de rigoler. On pourrait même les empêcher. On s'en tournera en fait.
Hey, a workbench. He could try out his new bling.
Cool, si ça compte pour les mecs améliorés là. Tu peux vous ressembler en moins, ça me va très bien.
If you can't stand the heat, he thought, stay out of the flamethrower.
Ah, ça fait mal. Bon, pour ce coffre, ça en valait la peine. Allez. Et yes. Compagnie de chance critique, 1200 d'énergie. Quasiment 10 mètres pour de vie, quoi. Je serai bientôt dans les 8 ans, 80. Alors, tu as des ennemis pour un 4% d'énergie, ça me va très très bien. Ah, et en plus, on peut les faire monter de niveau en les utilisant. De 20% de résistance aux dégâts physiques. Et encore, ça peut augmenter. Ah oui, franchement, là, c'est mis pas mal. Encore pas mal. Pour dire. Très bien. Juste plus de vie pour l'énergie.
What exactly was Lupino up to this time? You could see the wheels spinning inside his head. They made Renato dizzy, in fact.
Bon, écoutez, on va sauter. Mais c'est nouveau, hein. D'habitude, on prenait l'autre chemin. Vraiment, c'est intéressant. Il y a d'autres trucs. Quoi?
Boy, someone has spent a lot of money for a graduation present. When I build my castle, thought Renato, all my gates are going to open with buttons, and all the levers will drop rocks at your head.
Bien sûr. Tu vas construire un château. Ok, le mec il arrive comme ça d'un coup quoi. C'est la première fois que je me fais toucher et la première fois que je me fais tuer par un mec comme ça. On va passer là.
These things really slice like ham.
C'est justement, je le peux tout peut-être plus pratique. Cool. Bien sûr, je dois arriver pile. En l'attaquant, je dois me mettre devant, quoi. Pendant que je le découpe, je me mets devant lui, comme ça il peut bien me faire mal. Bon, du coup, maintenant que j'ai tout découpé. Tu pars un petit truc par là. Juste comme ça. Est-ce que j'ai pris mon style important? Super.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Reynardo.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sure you know better, said Lupino.
Le pire, c'est que son plan, il fonctionne. Mais je vais pas le faire. Donc, on a la résistance élémentaire qui a augmenté. On va passer par là.
Ooh, what's there?
Il y a vraiment une astuce que pour le combat tu peux faire que de l'ennemi quand tu fais que d'embrocher l'ennemi et de le lancer sur un autre. Cher Snobia, au moment où tu lis cette lettre, tu es enfermé dans ta chambre si vous voulez passer ta dernière nuit. Il comptait sacrifier sa fille. Il comptait la sacrifier.
The rock felt hot in his hand. He could feel its secret power.
Maintenant, elle est combien? 40%. Ah, super, là, franchement, ça te met. Putain, mais je crois pas, il compte la sacrifier, Zenobia. En gros, si on l'avait laissé là, quand on n'avait pas sauvé Lapino, il a dit déjà, Lapino est mort, il est mort dans ce cas-là. Et puis Zenobia, du coup, elle est morte.
Reynardo slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek. How soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She became smoke. and he noticed he had a blade to his throat. "Stay a while," purred a familiar voice. "Did you really think you could capture me?" Zenobia said as the ship lifted off. "No, I just wanted some privacy," Renato said. Renata knew she still had feelings for him. Maybe he could just cut to the chase. But was timing right for that? I know how you feel about me, baby. I know you want to be with me. Renato said. What? The Emperor's evil, babe. I'm nice. Remember how nice I was back in school? You were an idiot in school. You said I was funny, said Renato, starting not to like how the conversation was going. The Emperor pulled me out of an alley. Don't tell me he's evil. Yeah, but did you ever wonder why? No, I didn't. Why don't you ask him? Well, because I know why. He wants to sacrifice you. You can tell him that when he interrogates you. Can't we just start this over? But Zenobia shut him in the hold of the ship. He had no one to explain anything to until he was brought to the Emperor's interrogators. After that, it was just screaming. He had tried something bold and paid the price for it.
Fallait plutôt suivre le plan, tiens. Du coup, on va devoir tout recommencer, je pense. Ou alors, on va pouvoir recommencer la discussion. Ça serait bien.
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
On va passer par là, maman. On va retrouver sa place, cette fois-ci, on va s'en tenir au plan.
Everybody who wants to die, raise your weapon. All right.
Bah oui, le plan, c'est de la torturer, c'est vrai. Ah oui, j'ai encore ce truc. Je galérais tellement à le faire. Au dernier moment, ça ralentit. Voilà, c'est pratique. C'est juste pour un coffre. C'est pas grave, ça donne de mes rêves.
And this is why heroes are called dashing, Renato thought. See? Dashing? Get it?
Tais-toi. On continue d'ouvrir des coffres. On dit fight. Non, il est pas là le fight. Voilà, il est là. Je t'ai passé par la porte de feu.
Renato had once invested in a jewel store, but it lost money because someone kept robbing it. Twist. It was him.
Alors il est juste très bête. Si tu investis dedans et tu la voles, tu gagneras jamais de l'argent. Si tu la voles, tu gagneras de l'argent. Je sais pas qu'est-ce qu'il te donne le plus. la chose qui me donne autant de plus.
What exactly was Lupino up to this time? You could see the wheels spinning inside his head. They made Renato dizzy, in fact.
Ah oui, c'est sûr, là c'est cool. On va faire ça vite fait, quoi. Je sais pas comment on fait tout très bien.
This one looked familiar. Had he lost this one in a card game? Welcome back, he thought. So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renato hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renato.
Sauf que non.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sure you know better, said
Pourquoi il
Lupino.
se barre aussi? On va au phaéton. Les coffres, les gemmes.
He hadn't noticed that path before.
Oh, nouvelle. Elle a l'air intéressante, elle a l'air intéressante. Donc, que des 5% d'énergie. On va d'abord le faire monter de niveau, je pense. Sur la vitesse d'attaque que je mettrai sur la base de la résistance physique et le briseur de bouclier. Ici, enfin, je sais pas trop ce que c'est en fait. Quand je sais ce que c'est, si jamais ça me va, je ferai ça, ouais. Et on le tue, on l'embroche, on le fait tomber dans quelqu'un, on le tue et on tue l'autre personne. Ensuite, on essaye, on l'embroche, on le balance, on tue les deux. Alors, tiens, ça nous fait monter de niveau.
Renato slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek. How soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She became smoke. And he noticed he had a blade to his throat. Stay a while, purred a familiar voice.
Oh, mais là, on est en mauvaise position, du coup, on peut pas l'enlever.
Capture me. Zenobia said, "No, I just wanted some privacy," Renato said. Renato knew she still had feelings for him. Maybe he could just cut to the chase. But was timing right for that?
Ouais, c'est le bon moment pour suivre le plan.
Did you ever wonder why the Emperor adopted you? And he told her why. His Imperial Majesty wanted to bring the lost gods back. They could make him immortal.
Genre, je sais pas,
To seal the bargain,
tu l'as
he needed a sacrifice. Someone who truly loved him. You're lying. She was furious. You can't prove that. I can. And so they set sail for the Nexus.
On a eu le parchemin. Mais en fait, si on n'aurait pas lu ce parchemin, je sais pas ce qui se serait passé. Mais vu qu'on l'a lu, on est tranquille. Voilà. Mais genre encore là, on est bon. On est en train de la rallier à nous. Mais bon, après, il y a un secret avec Lapino, je pense. Il y avait une petite tête de lapin.
Scientists at the observatory have resurrected one of his victims. Well, he's not exactly alive, but it can talk, and it can't lie. You took a big risk. You know, I could just cast a spell to make you tell me where the rebel base is, And you wouldn't consider that cheating?
She frowned. Fine. Let's go get your witness. Renato felt like he was... The rebellion had started after atrocities that the Empire hushed up. Renato had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred for one book. He had slept in a burnt village. Dead kittens and puppies had come to tell him what the Emperor had done to them.
Bah vai, hein, j'en ai bien. Vai, on se barre.
Don't look down, he thought.
On l'a fait pas mal de fois encore. C'est bizarre parce que c'est pas la bonne. Ah mais non, mais ces portes là c'est la bonne. Il faut juste une épée héroïque ou je sais pas quoi. D'accord, c'est juste hyper puissant de laisser appuyer tout le temps sur R2 avec cette épée.
Renato checked for a false compartment. Nope.
Voilà, il y a du minerai. Bon, c'est à peu près ce qui me manque.
She caught up with him. Don't you think I'd know if my father started practicing black magic? Why? Would you want to join in? Oh, no, I'd destroy his books and... All right, I suppose I wouldn't. She stopped, troubled. He ran on.
On l'a assommé.
This is quite the view, he thought.
Ouais, c'est ce que j'avais dit. Enfin, pas ici, hein. Ici, bon, c'est pas super joli non plus. Enfin, si, ça a l'air très, très, très joli avec les cristaux. Après, on a fait des vues sur les villes, on a... J'aime bien les graphismes, ils sont pas ouf, mais ils sont pas moches non plus, quoi. Ils sont pas ouf comparé à ce qu'on peut faire. Ils sont pas ouf comparé à ce qu'ils pouvaient faire.
On this island had been investigating the Emperor's dark rituals on their own. They were neutral in the civil war engulfing the Empire, but they could see that the dark magics the old toad had loosed were changing the world. Renato hoped he and Zenobia weren't putting them in danger.
Mais comment on va là-bas?
Energy spheres. Easy to dodge, but boy do they sting if you didn't pay attention.
Je m'en prends toujours une maintenant. Aïe. Ça fait que 10 de dégâts, ok. C'est assez chiant quand tu t'en prends une. Ah ok, j'ai compris.
Could be the new aerobics craze. Am I right?
J'arrive toujours pas. Tant pis. Autant les récupérer hein, quand c'est par terre. C'est pas hyper dur à les avoir, mais quand même, autant les récupérer. Surtout pour t'améliorer les armes comme ça. Allez, on y est. What? Mais il y a tout qui est en flammes.
Of all the artisans he was creating employment for, truly, he was a job creator.
Mais elle les a avertis, ça peut pas être autre chose.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists and black feathers everywhere. The Ravens had taken care to burn the reanimated witness to cinders. Zenobia stared around, shocked. The scientists had been neutral. They had no part in the rebellion. "Take me to your council," she said, shaken. "I have things to tell them." It was what Renato had gambled on. The Zenobia would turn against her father once she knew his madness. But the rebel base was secret. Could he really risk taking the Emperor's daughter there?
Et c'est qui a pu les amener là-bas? Genre qui... Normalement...
Reached Lapino by Farspeaker Toad, the one creature the Ravens had left alive at the observatory. "I'll meet up with you at the base," Lapino said through the Toad. "Good thinking." Renato gave him the coordinates. "There's a shuttle here I can borrow." Renato found Zenobia in the chart room. "I've been having awful dreams," she said. "Dead kittens and worse. I thought they were only dreams, you know. Why would anyone want the lost gods back? In those days, the favorite of a god could become immortal." She held herself and shivered. "He wants to become an eater of souls." "Well, I'm not afraid of dying. Just tired of boredom," Renato said, but she didn't laugh. Silence fell as they flew towards the ruins of the city of Ubar, where the rebellion leadership was.
Ah, on doit pas faire le trajet, on y est déjà. Oh, ça serait tellement bien.
No one could.
Ouais, non, logique, on doit faire le trajet. Ou alors on y est déjà et il y a un truc à faire là-bas. Et on pourra peut-être voir la rébellion avant qu'elle n'explose. Enfin, on la verra peut-être exploser justement si Zenobia est avec son père. Son père utilise la magie noire, il peut très bien. Peut-être que Zenobia n'est pas d'accord, mais lui peut lui lancer des sortilèges dessus, comme ça. Elle est avec lui. Je sais pas. C'est un truc comme ça.
As they touched the ground, he could smell the ravens and hear their hungry caws in the distance. "They're probably looking for me," she said. "You go on ahead." She had that fiery look in her eyes that he'd always loved. It was a bit odd, though. How easy she'd been to convince. It was what he'd gambled on, but he'd expected more of an argument. She'd always loved to argue. She considered it the fastest way to the truth. Maybe she'd long suspected the truth. Sometimes all it took was taking the bandages from your eyes. That must be it, he told himself.
Bugs comme ça. Alors, fight. C'était joli ça.
Not Zenobia, Hypatia, the kid's mother. Renato had never thought he'd date a librarian. He'd always figured himself for the barmaid type. But then, he never figured the library of Ubar would have comic books, or that Hypatia would know anything about them. He missed her.
Ah, mais elle est morte. C'était la mère du petit, donc du coup le petit normalement il devait te connaître. C'est-à-dire que t'étais pas son père.
If Zenobia had really turned, the war could soon be over. She could send orders to the fleet that would leave their defenses wide open.
The rebels could sail right in and capture the Emperor. Victory, with not too many casualties.
J'aurais d'abord dû utiliser ça pour mettre, faut le plus récupérer. Le truc, enfin bon. Voilà. Je vais utiliser mon sprint pour le faire. Un petit peu de fight à chaque fois. Non, j'arrive à l'ouvrir là. Il n'y a pas de fight. La dernière fois, il y en avait pourtant. Enfin, je crois. Des petits lags.
They caught their breath under a ruined arch. It's beautiful, she said. This was the library of Ubar, he said. Your father's ravens thought they had an ancient book. She nodded. Was she crying? This was exactly what I wanted, Renata thought. To turn her to our cause. So, why do I feel something is terribly wrong? Because nothing ever goes this smoothly, is why.
Donc maintenant on peut pas passer par là. Ok, bon, on va passer par là. Pauvre Zenobia qui pleure.
The platform used a hybrid propulsion system fueled by anti-gravity and wishful thinking.
Ah oui, les pensées irréalistes, c'est tellement fou que ça fait que ça fonctionne. Oh, c'était quoi ce bug d'affichage? C'était peut-être pas un bug d'affichage. Voilà comment gagner un combat sans 3 dos. Voilà, c'est pas compliqué. Ceux qui disent que c'est compliqué, entraînez-vous un peu au combat. C'est terrorisé. Ouais, ok. Alors, désolé si vous êtes plus long qu'on va lire. Enfin bon, vous pouvez toujours mettre sur pause, puis dès que je redescends. Voilà.
He was sort of yanking his own shape, wasn't he?
Voilà. Ça m'énerve. Je sprint dessus quoi quand j'arrive pas à les casser, ça m'énerve. Ah ouais, carrément, là maintenant j'ai de l'énergie dans... Non mais il n'y aura plus rien, on gagnera de l'énergie et de la vie. Oh le mec comme il est mort. Et voilà. Alors.
Hey, when you tell if someone's far away, or just really small.
Non, non, non. Merde.
Long stairs.
Explorer un peu.
So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Il n'y a pas le feu au lac. Comme expression. Et merde. Oh, comme j'ai réussi à laguer. Et je l'avais même pas vu, lui. C'est cool, il est là. J'ai peut-être pas mal pris cher, là. Dans le vide, là.
The council toads swarmed around Zenobia, shocked she was there, shocked she had changed sides. Then the walls exploded. He heard toads croaking, "Oh, the ravens!" Blackbirds were pouring through holes everywhere. "It's a trap!" cried the council speaker. In the confusion, he saw flashes of magic. Then Zenobia being hustled off by Imperial troops. So she had betrayed him after all. Renato ran for his ship. The Farfarer flew into the clouds, barely losing the Imperial ravens pursuing him. The rebellion was lost, and he had lost it. There was nothing to do but find Zenobia and make her pay for her treachery. His heart ached. He still loved her. But he had trusted her, and he had been a fool. She would be back at the fleet, gloating with her mad, bloodthirsty father. For all Renato knew, she was helping him bring back the old, lost gods back from their exile.
Non. Putain, on va se venger, là, on va tout déglinguer. Je suis en colère, je suis en colère. Je vais tout détruire. Petite sauvegarde.
Renato landed in the middle of the Imperial fleet. The rebels were losing badly. Without leadership,
l'enfer n'est rien.
Renato felt strangely free. Trying
Ça se voit tout de suite, là,
how he had lost the war. Trying not to think about how he had loved Zenobia. Blinded himself to her treachery.
That's what it meant to be a hero. To keep on fighting after the most bitter of betrayals. To never know if you could trust anyone. Cats. What a waste of fur.
I wonder what happens if I go that way.
Je suis pas d'accord qu'un chat soit méchant. Non, je suis pas d'accord. Ça c'est cool, sinon le reste je suis pas très content. J'ai mon petit briseur de bouclier là. J'ai pas le temps. Y'a pas le temps, man.
What had happened to Lapino? Had the mad rabbit fled to safety? Or was he forlornly carrying on like the few rebels Renato could see here or there? It didn't matter anymore. All there was slash and spin, parry and lunge, over and over as he fought his way across the fleet. All there was finding the girl he'd once known, who had used his love against him and putting as big a hole in her heart as she'd left in his.
Mal joué. Je me suis pris un coup et j'en ai tué un. Je me suis pris un coup et j'en ai encore tué un. Là, je suis deg.
Renato had always wanted to fly the carpet. This was more like a flying tabletop. It'll do.
Et franchement, ce jeu, ce qui est bien, c'est que la première fois que tu le fais, tu fais vraiment selon comment tu es toi. Et petit à petit, si tu... Par exemple, je pense si j'oublie le jeu... Si j'oublie ce jeu et que j'y retourne une fois, mes choix ils seront totalement différents. Parce que j'aurais changé quoi. Mais what? Mes douches, ils me mettent déjà à 22 points de vie. Voilà, ah ouais, ça change tout hein, d'avoir un bon coup comme ça, comme je... D'avoir un bon coup qui a ralenti le temps. Pareil au dernier moment.
Renato wondered idly if people who built these poles had really, really long tentacles.
Ah merde, j'avais un petit peu de ressources en fait. Oh, tant pis. Allez, le combat final. Oui, le combat final. D'abord, si on s'occupe de ça, ce serait pas mal bien. Pas assez agité, il faut vraiment là j'ai tout perdu. Ah, je suis deg. What? Comment j'ai perdu? Non mais il se passe quoi? Bah tuez-moi alors. Je peux plus bouger. Autant tout redémarrer si je peux plus bouger. Au moins j'ai pu me faire tuer. Parce que franchement sinon j'aurais bien été deg. J'aime bien voir cette épée là. C'est la plus stylée je trouve. Là je suis plus du tout dedans. Excusez-moi mais alors, le fight c'est plus pour moi. Mais bon vu qu'on a fini tout ça. Bon là on va entrer, il y aura plein de corbeaux partout, on va juste prendre cher et crever mais bon. C'est parti.
And suddenly Zenobia was there, advancing a Lapino. So the mad rabbit had survived.
Save me, or I'm done for!
Screamed Lapino. Zenobia turned, showing her teeth in a smile. You're alive! Renato ran towards the witch. Lapino's the one who betrayed you! She shouted. He warned my father! Renato sank his sword into the witch before she could fool him again. She stared at him, heartbroken. No! Lapino's the traitor. Then he felt a knife in his back. I'm afraid she's right, said the mad rabbit. Ain't I a stinker? Then the sun.
Bon, si on refait tout, on saura que c'est Lapino le traître. Putain.
Oh, damn it. He lost again and died. But there was burning Ubar behind him.
Non mais maintenant, si on fait exactement les mêmes choix, ça devrait être bon.
But he'd learned another true thing. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the mad rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Non mais attends, je suis trop deg. Bon, si on refait la même chose. Non mais si on refait les mêmes choix, on saura que Lapino est un traître. On sauve Lapino, on trouve Zenobia, on rejette le plan de Lapino et on fait confiance à Zenobia.
He knew enough now, he thought. All these truths tumbling around each other in his head. There must be a way to puzzle the pieces together. If he used everything he knew, he could discover a new path to destiny. The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. Faster than before, and he fell.
Et on refait les mêmes choix qu'avant, et puis c'est bon. Mais on va s'arrêter à la chose déjà. Bien marre. Et je sais plus me battre. Pour la 4e aventure. On a les vérités partout. Attends, c'est bon, calme.
But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it.
Non, non, on ira chercher tous les trucs du Skyscraper, je sais pas quoi.
And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing.
Il y a la clé.
Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that
Il y a
Lapino
une
had betrayed the
clé.
rebellion.
On sait exactement où aller et quoi faire pour finir. On sait exactement où il faut aller vu qu'il y a une clé. Bon, bah, on va s'arrêter là. La prochaine fois, on ira quand même là-bas. Mais ciao.